like other than that, it's kind of open season on whoever in our group of friends is available.
Right. So, okay. So it's more like a collaborative thing fronted by you.
Yeah, I mean, I like to think of it as like a secret society where it's like there's members who will probably never even meet each other. And there's members who are in different countries, different parts of the world. And I like this idea of this network where it's not tied to it just being a couple of people. So if somebody's like, I'm sorry, I can't do this show, or I can't do this tour, or I can't do this thing, that's fine. Just go sit on the sidelines. Somebody else will jump in. Yeah. We'll knock it out and we'll get to the next thing. And it's, at this age where, I'm going to be 44 next month. Nice. I can't be tied to other people's lives. I already have, a family that depends on me. Yeah. And I gotta do what's right for me and what ultimately makes me happy. Yeah. And so I'm glad that we can build on what I learned in Link 80 while leaving Link 80 intact. Like Link 80 can be its own thing over here, and this is my thing.
It's funny that you say that, because it's like I feel like the way you're describing it, if Link 80 after that reunion show like just kind of kept doing things, would you feel like it would be the same energy that is going on with Omnigone right now, or would you feel like it would just kind of be like you guys trying to like revive something and trying to like match the early records?
It would be different because everybody in Link 80 have very strong opinions. Okay. That's part of what made it interesting, and what also makes it hard to do that band is because everybody has very strong opinions about the way things should be done and about the way things should work. Yeah. So could it have been done? Yes. But at the end of the day, like I remember looking across the stage, I didn't get to play with Matt very much. Okay. At the beginning of the band, I think we played, he told me we played 4 shows together, I think, when I first joined. And then it was off to the races. So getting to play these 2 nights in a row and getting to play some songs that I'd never actually played in the band because there were songs that just didn't feel right to play without Matt. Okay. It felt like a really good ending point for that for me. And that's not to say that, I'm completely closed the door on all of that, but I know for me, it needed to be my vision from here on out. It needed to be me saying, this is the way I want to do it. Yeah. And also I needed it to be the way Barry wants to do things. Like Barry's taken a much more active role recently in writing songs and in, presenting, pushing things forward. Yeah. But we have a much more cohesive vision with only 2 people than we do with 6 or 7 or 8 people. Yeah. Depending on which version of Link 80 we're looking at.
Yeah, because that's like even just 6 or even 5. As sometimes it's most times there's just too many cooks in the kitchen.
All those guys have really involved lives right now. Like Aaron Nagel, the trumpet player, he's a really awesome oil painter. That's what he does now. And so he does these really insane, time intensive paintings. Matt Bettinelli, the other guitar player, is a director now. He directed the new Scream movie. Nice. So. Like he's out there making like these awesome horror. He actually put some little ska punk Easter eggs in the new Scream movie. He said there's some stickers in the background, I think, in the scene. Yeah. So I'm excited to see that. Yeah. But yeah, it's just everybody has really involved lives. Steve Borth lives in Denmark, and he produces music out there. So. The idea of trying to do that band the way we used to do it, just it's not feasible.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I mean, coming back to Omnigone, like the No Faith album, if I'm correct, it came out in September of 2019. Yeah. Correctly. So, and then I guess more specifically here in Cali, we got hit with the quarantine related to the pandemic in March of the following year, last year, 2020. Was there any plans to like go on tour for No Faith, or was it just kind of like let's put this album out with Bad Time and let's play some shows? Because I know you guys did do a lot of gigs and you guys traveled to LA like how you said.
Yeah, I'd been dipping my toe back into it, kind of trying to figure it out. I have 2 young boys. And so figuring out the logistics of, my wife works full time, figuring out how that all works. It was looking like it was feasible to do weekenders and travel here and there. Yeah. And with the band being able to be flexible with membership, traveling is a lot easier.
Yeah.
Like we could just fly into a place and fly back out.
Yeah.
And then even we were starting to look at like going over to the UK because Link 80 used to do really well over there, and I still have a lot of friends over there. And my friend Pook, who played trombone on the album, he's in Read Him On, and he was in Beat the Red Light. Nice. He's also in the Filaments. He's out there, so we already have a member in the UK.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And my wife's family is originally from over there, so we were talking about make it a family trip and then just tack on a string of shows in there.
Yeah.
So I was starting to move that way and starting to put all these plans into place, starting to talk to other bands that I wanted to play shows with. I really wanted to get down, play with like Corrupt Vision and Noise Complaint.
Nice.
And then COVID happened. We had a show booked with Kill Lincoln because they were flying out to record Can't Complain, and so we were going to play a show. And that was like the week after COVID like really hit.
Yeah,
to do that. So we were trying to scramble. We were going to figure out, could we like rent a practice space and like just live stream ourselves playing in there?
Mm-hmm.
And then we all just got way too sketched out. Like, I mean, Mike Zasinski lives literally 2 miles from my house, and I've seen him through a window one time, like in the whole last year.
Okay, so you have to be careful.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get my family sick. I know Mike doesn't want to get sick, and I've gotten into a good routine around here, so I don't want to jeopardize it at this point. We were thinking it was going to be 2 weeks to flatten the curve. Now we're almost 11 months in.
Yeah.
At this point, it's like I've already committed this much. I don't want to ruin things.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. I mean, so to get back to your main point, like things were definitely in motion to start playing more shows. Like I was really wanting to get back down to LA. I wanted to do like a Northwestern run. I wanted to fly out to the East Coast and do shows. We were planning on doing Fest. So we were going to fly out and do Fest. So now we're bumped to the next year. Like we'll see about that. We're talking about going to the UK. I'd really like to go play with Dal Santo in Australia. I'd love to get over to Japan again. Link 80 did a week in Japan back in the day.
Yeah.
I'd love to get back over there and see those bands.
Yeah, I mean, it's all just tentative now on what the governors say, and like what you're saying, all the international touring, it depends on what's going on. Because I know like Australia had that like really, really, really strict lockdown, and now they're back to having public events and all that. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, the thing that I've noticed, like the thing that I've realized is, I think as a younger person, I didn't expect to live past 27. Like that was kind of what I saw the life expectancy being for somebody who played punk rock and like lived kind of destructively.
Okay.
I wasn't doing anything bad. Like I'm straight edge. So it's kind of ridiculous thinking that way. Mm-hmm. But life just keeps going on. Like, and you don't, I think I thought in my 40s I would feel a lot older than I feel. Mm-hmm. And I feel like the same kid who used to go to those shows, used to go see Skank and Pickle. Like I'm not ready to be done yet. Like I don't want to just go sit on the couch and, watch Netflix. I want to go, sweat and rage and scream and jump up and down and play guitar.
Of course. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, like I think it was last month. Yeah. Last month in December, you guys dropped Swallow Poison, the single. So, I mean, I'm only guessing, but I would assume that there's, maybe another album or an EP in the works or something you guys are trying to figure out.
Yeah, I mean, we have a bunch of stuff recorded and mixed. It's just kind of figuring out how we want to release it. I was really happy to have a spot on the SKA Against Racism comp. I was really stoked when that happened.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really, I feel like I've put out enough music just throwing it out on the internet that I don't really just want to throw stuff out on the internet. I want there to be a physical component to it. Even if it's only just like a totemic item. Like, I mean, like I get cassettes from bands now.
Yeah.
I don't have a cassette player, like, but I like having like a physical representation of that item. Something about that I feel like is really pleasing, and it's nice to be able to show support for a band by buying a physical piece of merchandise.
Yeah, because when you just throw it up on the streaming services, I mean, they could stream it however many times they want to, but it's not really putting too much money in the artist's pocket,
Right, and it's not all about money for me so much as it is commitment. Like I want, at the end of the day, I don't want to just be a file on somebody's hard drive that's eventually just going to sit on a shelf.
Yeah.
I'd rather be a piece of memorabilia that somebody can look back at years from now and say like, oh, this was a time and a place.
Yeah.
So, we have a bunch of stuff recorded. We have some, some stuff is completely mixed and ready to go. Other stuff still needs some pieces. And then there's other stuff that are just little voice memos on my phone. And, Barry and I just send songs back and forth all the time. Oh, we've got this little part here, this little thing here. So the next time we go into the studio, we're going to have a lot of songs. Like we've been busy, but at the same time, like I'm not like these people who are like pushing to like play shows during a pandemic. I've done a few live streams. It's not fun for me. Like finishing a song and then just being in my room and it's quiet, like that doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't give me the same release. So we've just been writing songs. We're just hanging out. I mean, social media is like such a double-edged sword because there's so much negativity attached to it. However, at the same time, I've made so many good friendships during this pandemic with other people in other bands or just people who like the music that like it feels way more connected than ever before. Like whenever I'm able to hop on like IG Live and just talk to people, I end up coming away from that just feeling energized. Almost with the feeling that you get like after you play a set and you get to hang out at the merch table afterwards and talk to people. Like it's like that part of a show for me.
Yeah, it's like the interaction is still there, and it's even more like appealing because it's people that you probably wouldn't be reaching out to on a daily basis anyway. It's like you go live and somebody from I don't know New York could like join your live, and suddenly you guys are talking and you guys are chopping it up, and I don't know, maybe they have like Link 80 merch, or maybe they even bought like like the Omnigone record and they have it and they show it to you. It's like. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Definitely.
It's really cool. And I mean, that was the part that I was really enjoying playing, like when we were playing shows, like, Omnigone's only gotten to play 4 real shows.
Nice.
But like the LA show, like after that one, I was able to talk to a couple friends I hadn't seen in a long time. Some people that I'd only really ever talked to on the internet. And then after the Mustard Plug show at Bottom of the Hill, I just about lost my voice that night because I was just talking to like all these people, like people that I'd either never met before or that I'd known, in some weird way. And then one of my friends from like second grade all the way up through like high school, who I completely lost touch with, he came out to the show. And so I was able to like hang out with him. Josh Kabibi, shout out if he ever sees this.
Hell yeah! Shout out Josh Kabibi. So, moving past the music, I know it's getting a little late. I don't want to hold you too much, but moving past the music, man. Like you also do a lot of like illustrations and art. I mean, what would you call that graphic design or just or like just general art? Like I'm not too well versed. I just know that I like what I'm saying visually what I see. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's all good. I guess I'd call it illustration.
Okay.
I mean, I guess it goes hand in hand with graphic design, but I always feel like graphic design is a little bit more like pushing the text around and making the margins nice and making everything look really clean. Whereas what what I'm really interested in doing is doing a lot of